What's up YouTube, it's Mike aka Plastic Life and I'm back with another Jazwares Pokemon review, this time on the Pokemon Select Raikou. Raikou is the second legendary dog to hit the market. We've already got the Suicune and Jazwares teased us with a silhouette of Entei, so if you're trying to catch them all, now is the time to grab the first two. This figure retails for $32.99 here in Canada and I picked it up from my local Toys R Us. Let's get the big dog off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, and here is Raikou off the stand, and it looks really good. I'm happy with the way this came out. Another good representation of a legendary Pokemon from Jazwares. Taking a closer look, my eyes are slightly off-centered. My right eye just appears to be looking off to the left, so that's kind of a bummer. The whiskers are made out of a nice, soft, pliable material, as well as the tusks. Taking a closer look at some of the details. The decal placement of the stripes looks good. The mane is made out of a soft rubber material. When it comes in the package, the tail is a separate piece. You just port the tail into the back there. But yeah, really nice, accurate representation of Raikou. Some can argue that with the Pokemon Select line that the heads are slightly big, but that's kind of uniform across the line, so pretty happy with how that came out. Alright, so I've mentioned this before in previous videos. I don't like the way that these figures are packaged. They're packaged in these trays and it's extremely tight fitting in there. So when you go to pull the figure out, you end up just kind of taking pieces of the top coat off, and that's a bummer there. But if you have some clear top coat matte spray, you can just hit those spots there and hopefully it won't be so noticeable. Raikou comes with a display stand, but for some reason it's not really working out for me. The porthole is in the chest area there. You're supposed to just port this in like so. I try forcing it in, but it's not really working. So it ended up kind of just sits there and doesn't seem to want to stay. Try forcing it in there and it just falls out right away. So this stand is pretty much useless at this point for me. Let me know in the comments if you're having the same issues. I would have liked to see a Raikou coming with some lightning effects because it is an electric type Pokemon and that would have been cool to have. Articulation for Raikou is what you would expect from a big cat. There is some rotation in the head that goes side and side. You can't look up at all because the mane is in the way. It's a really big mane, but it can look down about that much. As a photographer, when these figures come with no alternative heads, you better hope that there's some mouth articulation to create some extra expression there, so that's really appreciated there. The front legs can move up about that much, they can move back that much, they can go outwards and inwards, and they have a slight bit of rotation. There is a knee joint that can move this much, and it has a slight bit of rotation. And the ankle joint can move up and down, and it also has rotation. The back legs move forward this much, they go back that much. There is a knee joint as well up top that I can't seem to bend all the way. And the ankles have rotation and some up and down motion. Big old claws came out really nice. They're not articulated at all though, but they're just kind of glued in there, but yeah, they look nice. Damn, no waist joint like the Suicune had. Posing wise, there's not much you can do with this guy. Not a lot of rotation in the neck or so you can kind of get him in some battle ready poses like this. Or maybe if you want, you can kind of have him flying through the air or jumping, but you know, not much that you're going to get out of this guy in terms of articulation. I guess you could put him in a walking position, because you can sort of get the feline gait pattern, although he kind of leans over to the side at that point. For size comparisons, we'll start by comparing it to the other legendary dog that we have. Here is the Suicune, and this looks pretty accurate. Here are the other two figures from Wave 6. We have the Mewtwo and we have the Garchomp. Here's Raikou next to the other legendary electric Pokemon that we have, and this is the Zapdos. Here's Raikou next to a Tyranitar from Pokemon Select. Next to some smaller non-legendary Pokemon, the Gengar and the Ivysaur. If you want to mix and match your lines, here he is next to the SH Figart Blastoise. And finally, next to Pokemon Trainer Red from Figma Good Smile Company. Alright, so my final thoughts on Raikou, on whether or not you should buy it. This figure is expensive, and it doesn't really have much accessories, and it's a bit of a brick. There's not much you can do movement-wise with this figure. It just doesn't have the range and the articulation to get it into some poses. It does look really nice, though. Aesthetically, I'll give them that. This is a really nice-looking figure, and I'm pretty happy with the way that this came out. I don't really care too much about the legendary dogs, so once I get the Entei, I'm going to review the Entei, and I'll probably just sell off the entire lot. But that being said, if you are a fan of Pokemon Select and you like the legendary Pokemon, then go ahead and pick this guy up. The retail price of $32.99 Canadian is a bit steep, considering that this is an electric Pokemon and you don't even get any electric accessories like any little lightning bolts or anything like that. I wish they could have added stuff like that to make this a little bit more value. If you found this review helpful, hit that thumbs up and subscribe buttons. Head on over to Instagram at plastic.life with a Y to check out some of my toy photography. Always remember, at the end of the day, this is your collection, so just buy whatever makes you happy. I hope you catch my next reviews. Take care.